Hey, so tonight we're going to be talking about how the equivalency theory might affect the development, implementation, and management of a distant learning program at a university. The first thing we need to discuss is what is the equivalency theory. This basically says that the distance learning program should be equivalent to that of a traditional program, that student learning should be equivalent and the outcomes should be equivalent. So, in developing this program, the first thing we need to think about is um, course development. The goal of instructional planning should be equivalent, and the designer needs to know the audience, know, anticipate what they may be, and provide learning activities that'll be suitable for that particular group. Also, if you're developing a distance learning program, you need to make sure that you have your infrastructure. You need to make sure you've got appropriate technology, staff that can support that technology, and also know your funding, what you need as opposed to what's available. And most importantly, I think, is that you really need to make sure that the distance learning program, to be equivalent to that of a traditional program, you need to make sure they fall under the same policies, that the policies hold them to the same rigor as regular programs, and that the students in distance learning programs have the same access to all the same services, and that the materials are accessible to students with disabilities. So you need to know your institution policies, your state policies, and your federal policies. Now, once you do that and you start implementing everything, you need to make sure you have staff that is comfortable with using educational technology and comfortable teaching education at a distance. You also need to make sure that your students have the same access to library, student support services, financial aid, and IT help. And then you need to make sure that the development of the courses have the same rigor. They don't have the same material, the same strategies, because the format is different, but it has to be equivalent. Okay, management. The most important thing you can do as managing a distance learning program is make sure you've got qualified administration. That way they can hold all the policies up and do teacher evaluations, do quality control, make sure that the institution is holding that distance learning program to the same mission and purpose statements that traditional programs are held to make sure that copyright compliances are being followed, and that there's ongoing evaluation of teachers, of course outcomes, of student outcomes. So anyway, those are the things that you have to keep in mind when making sure that distance learning programs are equivalent to that of traditional programs. And I hope to see y'all in some future classes. Thank you. Have a great weekend.